whenever I do these podcasts, I usually, I don't type out a script at all, but I usually type up like the title of it, a quick description of like, I have an idea of what I'm going to talk about. This literally just hit me while I was recording other videos, and we're doing the podcast right now. I work every day to my absolute max, not because of the reason you think. And I will say this video might be a little controversial, or it might sound like I'm being snotty, it might sound like I'm being rude, and it might just like hurt some people's feelings. One, if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. But two, I am not intending this to hurt people's feelings at all. I'm simply just speaking freely how I feel, and I do not look down on anybody. I do not care what you are, who you are, where you are in life. We are all the same. We are all equal. I love everyone the exact same. I do not look down on anyone, no matter what, where, who. Don't care. Don't care if you're purple, yellow, black, green, white. Don't care if you're super tall, super short. Don't care if you're a male or a female. We are all the same. I love all of us equally, okay? Now that is said, let's get into this. I work every single day to my absolute fullest, not because I want to have a nice car, not because I want to carry around a pretty bag, not because I want to have a nice diamond chain, not because I want to travel to Europe. I work my butt off every day for mainly two reasons. Reason number one, I want to help people. I feel I was put on this planet to help people. I feel I was put here to help the less fortunate. I was given incredible gifts to have this really driven and different mindset than literally everyone I know, that I'm able to make a plethora of money and have a really, really strong mindset that I can inspire people with, that I want to help the less fortunate, both financially and mentally. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing this. But two, the big reason why I am working so hard and doing what I'm doing is not for me. It's for my future wife, my future kids, and my kids' kids and kids' kids and kids' kids and generations for who knows how long, until the world blows up. I don't know. So I'm doing this because of that. Now, it might sound a little weird, but what I'm building right now is going to provide for people that won't even meet me, for children that are going to be born when I'm long gone. They're not even really going to know me other than by my name. So why am I doing this? Here's why. I have a friend. I haven't talked to her in a while. We were friends like a lot when we were younger, but her and I were talking recently, actually. Sorry. We talked recently, and we haven't talked in probably like 10 years since, but we were just like, catching up. And her dad passed away years ago. Not going to say how, but he passed away years ago. It was sad. But when he went, he left her and her mom with nothing. They had nothing. Now, that's an extreme example, but it's true. They had nothing. He didn't build anything for them. So now this is where the video might get a little controversial and people might get upset with me, but I don't care. I'm still going to say it. I'm building what I'm building because I can actually pass this down. You can't pass down a job. You can't pass down an education of schooling, right? So if I go to school and I get an education, which I am, and then I get a job, and then I work at this job for 40 years. I make my money, I take care of my wife, I take care of my kids, and then I retire, and then my kids do the same thing. I pass away. What do I leave them? I leave them probably like a little bit of money, some stuff that I had, but then money goes away, stuff deteriorates, and then it's gone. And then the kids do the same thing. School, work, retirement, death. School, work, retirement, death. 10 generations later, school, work, retirement, death. It's a never-ending cycle of the same thing over and over again. And this is where I am wanting to be different and change so my children and children can have a better life. I still want them to go to school. They will go to school. I still want them to go get a college education, unless college is still going the way it is, because it's teetering on being a scam for how much it's worth. I mean, for how much it costs. It's almost not worth it, to be completely honest with you, with how much debt you're going to be in. Anyways, my kids are still 100% going to go to school. They are still 100% going to be raised the same way I did, where even though I could have had everything handed to me like this, I was still raised to work my butt off for it. And that's why I have what I have and I have the mindset I have. So my kids are still going to be raised that exact same way. But what I'm doing for them is what I'm building is simply going to allow them to never have to worry about having food on the table, clothes on their back, a roof over their head. If they want to go on a vacation, yes, of course. But every time we go on a nice vacation, or they have a nice present, or they have something nice, they will be reminded of what was sacrificed to do this. And the reason I feel this way is because my parents did the same thing to me. When they opened their business when I was 3 months old. I was 3 months old. They opened a business. They were young. Older than me, but young, 23 and 21. I started at 15, but their circumstances were a bit harsher. Because A, they had a child. B, they had little to no money. C, they had no guidance. They had no idea what was happening. Like, I love, like, everything they have done, but they had no guidance. They had no clue what they were going to do. They didn't have anyone that could tell them this is right, this is wrong, teach them how to run a business. They had no idea. I had all that. So I'm grateful for that. They were figuring it out. They were broke. They had a new baby. So not only were they trying to figure out how to take care of a human child, they were trying to figure out how to run a business. They were poor beyond belief. They were newly married. They were young. They had all these things. And it was just hard, man. It was rough. And I don't remember all of it, obviously. I was barely sentient. But I know how hard it was. They've told me. I've heard about it. And because they have told me all these things and I understand, even though I am incredibly grateful and I have so many things and I have everything I could ever want, I understand the sacrifices that were made for it. And I understand that even though I could 100% not do what I'm doing and just let my dad do everything for me, I am not going to do that. I'm going to continue my dad and my mom's legacy and pass it down to my kids. Because one day my parents are going to leave this business with me and my sister. And I mean, by that point, it's going to be so incredibly large and so incredibly successful that I'm not going to really need to do anything, but I'm still going to. But I'm going to be very, very fortunate of what I have. So I am creating generational wealth for my kids and my wife and my kids' kids and my kids' husbands and wives. And what I need to be very careful of is, even though I'm doing all this, they must be raised properly. If they are raised like snobs and expect everything to be handed to them, all of this is going to go out of the window. And that's where I'm a little worried, right? That's where I'm a little worried, because what if something goes terribly wrong? What if I raise my kids right, but then one of my kids raises their kids right, or even worse, I raise my kids right, and then one of my kids gets with a really bad spouse, and just everything is ruined. Luckily, I don't need to worry about that for a long time, but that's just like my thought process of it, right? So the reason I'm doing this is to, one, help people, but it's to create generational wealth for my entire bloodline from here on out. I do not want my kids to have to follow the same structure every kid has because the school is creating it for them. The school structure is not the only way. It's not the only way. And a lot of people don't see it, and that's okay. Like, and this is the thing. You can follow the school structure. Like, by all means, do that. Like, that's what you can do. That's fine. Go to school, get a degree, and get that dream job. If you want to be a doctor, be a doctor. That's awesome. I could never be a doctor. I can't even stand the sight of blood. I could never save that many lives doing that hard of a job, that stressful of a job. I could never do that. If you want to be a pilot, go fly a plane. I mean, that's cool. I couldn't fly a plane. That's awesome, right? So I'm not dissing on people that want to do that stuff. That is so freaking cool. But the thing is, I've seen what I can have not doing that. I've seen the opportunities I have not doing that. The freedom I have doing that. The freedom my parents have because they didn't do that is incredible. The freedom I have because of them doing not that is unmatched. And I can explain the freedoms over and over and over again, but realistically, it's really hard to put it into perspective until you've lived it. And like I've had some friends finally see it, just because like I've taken them on like our vacations, or I've taken them with me to things, or they've just seen it, what you can do and what happens, and it's a beautiful thing. It's honestly crazy. But what I do not want this video to do is I do not want to discourage you from achieving your dreams. If you want to be a pilot, please go be a pilot. We need people to fly those planes, and I can't do it, and you want to do it, so do it. We need doctors to save people's lives, and you are perfect for it. We need lawyers, man. We need lawyers to try to keep everything a bit balanced. We need all these things. So if you want to do it, please do it. Do not let me discourage you, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm simply just sharing my thoughts of how my life is going. So to wrap this up, I want to build generational wealth for my entire bloodline so they never, ever have to worry about the basic things again, as if they're going to have food on their table, clothes on their back, if they're going to make the next bill. Because who knows what's going to happen in these next years. Just look back to like when COVID hit around 2019. Think of how different the world is from 2019 to right now, 2025. It's been 6 years. A little over 6 years since COVID first happened. Think about how much the world has changed in just 6 years. Think about all the good and bad things that have happened. I need to prepare bloodlines. I need to prepare my bloodline. I need to prepare generations for what could possibly happen. And some people tell me that's not your job. Your job is to do what you want to do, take care of your wife and kids, and that's it. And I look at him and I say, where the heck is that written? Where does it say I can only take care of my wife and my kids? Let's say I have 3 kids. Who says I can only take care of 3 kids and a wife? When I know I am capable of providing for generations after me. When I know I have the skills, I have the drive, I have the mindset, I'm capable of doing it. I was given this gift to do this stuff. My gift I was given wasn't I'm super artistic or I'm really, really athletic or super good at basketball. My gift is my motivation and drive and my constant discipline and the fact that I can create everything from nothing. My gift was that I am so innovative and I'm able to do this stuff with literally nothing. There was no textbook that is telling me how to do what I'm doing, and I'm succeeding. I'm winning every single day, and no one is guiding me. There's no boss up here yapping in my ear telling me what to do. There's not a book that says this is that, this is this. None of this. There are books, like I've talked, that give you a rough idea, but there is not a singular book that is giving me a step-to-step of what I'm doing right now. And I'm still succeeding every day, and I'm winning. And that's where I know this is my right path, and I know this is the gift I was given. And me sharing all this with you, I hope to just share a little bit of my knowledge and share a little bit of what I can do for all of you. But yeah, that just hit me while I was recording other things, and I had to get it off my chest because it's so important to me that my wife and kids live good because I did what I did, and because my parents are doing what they're doing. Because of what they're doing and because of what I'm doing, our bloodline is set. As long as we do this right and we raise people correctly, we're going to do great. It's going to be great. And I want to help people. Once I have my life put together, I'm coming for y'all. You guys are getting helped. You guys have a wonderful day.